You can take all the fertility supplements in the world and still not get pregnant because supplements alone don't create pregnancy. They support the environment that pregnancy happens in. But if your body is feeling overwhelmed, inflamed, depleted, stressed, or out of balance, you can keep doing everything right and still feel stuck month after month. And I think that's one of the most frustrating parts of fertility for so many women because they're trying, they really care, and they're doing the best that they can. But nobody's helping them look at the whole picture. And that's why today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 of the biggest things I would focus on if I were trying to get pregnant naturally. Not just from a fertility perspective, but from the whole body perspective. Because fertility isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual too. I remember sitting across from a woman I was working with, and she just looked completely exhausted. She told me, Denise, I feel like my entire life revolves around trying to get pregnant. She was tracking, she was taking all the supplements, she was constantly researching, right? Going down that rabbit hole, trying to do everything just right. And quietly, she felt every month was a test and she wasn't passing. And honestly, I think so many women can relate to that because fertility can slowly stop feeling like it's part of your life and really start to feel like it's your entire life. And that's exactly why I do the work that I do, because women deserve to feel that support that looks like the whole picture, not just the ovulation strips and the lab numbers. Hi, I'm Denise, and I'm lovingly known as the Fertility Godmother. I'm a fertility expert, neuroencoding specialist, acupuncturist, and fertility coach. And I help women redesign their fertility journey so that they can get pregnant, have a healthy baby, and feel like themselves again while trying to conceive. Because fertility isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual too. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through some of the biggest mistakes I see that may quietly be lowering your fertility every single month. But before we dive in, please comment below what has been the hardest part of this fertility journey emotionally for you. I read every comment because I really want this channel to feel like we're supporting women in the community, and so that you know that you're not alone. So if you're new here, please make sure to subscribe because every week we talk about fertility, hormone health, mindset, emotional wellness, and how to support your body naturally. One of the biggest mistakes I see is women becoming hyper-focused on ovulation while ignoring the environment the egg is actually ovulating into. So yes, of course, absolutely, ovulation matters. But fertility isn't just, did I ovulate, right? It's also about, is the body nourished? Is the blood sugar stable? Are inflammation levels elevated or balanced? How is your sleep? Is sleep depleted or are you getting enough? Is your nervous system overwhelmed? Is the body getting the signals that support reproduction? I think sometimes women are taught to reduce fertility down to timing and apps. But your body is way more intelligent and complex than that. A regular cycle does not automatically mean everything's optimal, and normal lab ranges do not always mean that optimal fertility function either. This is why I always tell women, your period is not just a period. It's a monthly report card. So your energy, your sleep, your fertile mucus, if you have PMS, what your moods are like, your cravings, your cycle symptoms, your digestion, they all tell a story. And often your body whispers long before it screams. So instead of asking, am I ovulating? Start asking, what kind of environment am I creating for my baby for conception? And that shift alone can really make a huge difference. And if you want help understanding what may actually be getting missed in your fertility journey, I created a free gift for you called Understanding Your Body. It walks you through some of the foundational things that I help women with to support them naturally on their fertility journey. And I'll put it in the link below. Mistake number 2 is living under that constant fertility stress. So now let's talk about something that almost nobody talks about deeply enough, the emotional and mental load of fertility, because trying to conceive can quietly become all-consuming. right? You start analyzing every symptom, you're taking your temperature, and before you know it, your entire life begins revolving around waiting to ovulate, waiting to test, waiting for the doctor, waiting for this result, waiting for your life to begin. And while stress alone doesn't cause infertility, the chronic emotional overwhelm absolutely impacts the body. I see women who are mentally exhausted, emotionally depleted, disconnected from their joy, constantly bracing for the disappointment, always waiting for that shoe to fall. And what happens is the body starts living in survival, not because it's weak or broken, but because it's trying to protect you. And one of the biggest transformations I see in my clients is when they stop making fertility their entire life. And when they reconnect with themselves again, when they start laughing again, that's one of the biggest things I like to recommend. When they stop waking up every day feeling behind, when they stop treating themselves like a project that needs to be fixed. Because here's the truth, right? Pressure may push performance in some areas of life, but fertility often requires balance, support, consistency, emotional resilience. This is why one of the pillars in my framework, my triangle framework, is hope. Because when women stop hoping, they stop trusting themselves. They stop feeling safe in their own body, and they stop living. I never want women to put their entire life on hold while trying to conceive. You are allowed to keep living. In fact, I say it's important to live life in order to create a life. Mistake number 3 is thinking that low AMH means you can't get pregnant. I really wanted to include this because I see so many women spiral after hearing they have a low AMH. So let me say something important. Low AMH doesn't automatically mean pregnancy is impossible. AMH primarily reflects egg quantity, not necessarily egg quality. And those things are not the same. So now, of course, we want to take low AMH seriously. We want to support the body. We want to move with intention, right? We want to understand what's happening. All these things are really important. But I've seen women completely lose hope because of that number. And that hope really does matter. Our mindset matters because it affects our life every single day. Your physiology matters because it's creating the environment that your body is in and the communication of the hormones and all the things. Your lifestyle matters because that impacts your physiology in every single cell in your body, from your egg quality to uterine receptivity to sperm quality, to how you're living and feeling your life every day, if you have enough energy. Nutrition matters, mitochondrial support matters, right? So don't just collapse emotionally the moment you hear a diagnosis. Get informed, get supported, get a strategy. Because I've seen women with good numbers struggle, and I've seen women with poor numbers get pregnant. Your story isn't over because of one lab value, right? And this is where I think women really need both the honesty and still stepping into possibility. No false promises, but also not hopelessness. Mistake number 4 is doing too much without a clear plan. This is huge. So many women are overwhelmed because they're trying everything at once, right? All the supplements, all the protocols, the TikTok advice, the forums, the podcast, elimination diets, fertility teas, random internet trends, and they're exhausted. Sometimes women don't need more information. You've done so much research already, right? But they need to be aligned with that action. So this is why I created something called the personalized pregnancy game plan. Because when women finally understand what actually matters and what order to focus on things and what their body may need, when they're getting stuck, they can take a breath, because confusion creates stress, right? And clarity is going to help you create that momentum. And one of the things I always tell my clients is trying harder is not always the answer. Sometimes the answer is really simplifying things. I really believe in making things simple so that we can do them, regulating our body, regulating our nervous system, becoming more intentional about supporting our body consistently. The fertility journey becomes so much lighter when we stop throwing everything at the wall and start understanding your body. And mistake number 5 is ignoring the emotional side of fertility. From my experience, this is one of the most overlooked mistakes of all. Ignoring the emotional patterns that develop during the fertility struggle or that show up. They may have always been there, but boy, do they show up, right? It's the fear, the self-doubt, that inner critic, the comparison, the shame, the feeling of being left behind. A lot of women become incredibly hard on themselves during this journey, and I understand why. Because when something matters so deeply to you, it's painful when it's not happening. But the way that you speak to yourself matters. The emotional environment you live in matters. Your nervous system matters. I always say you cannot hate yourself into healing. And this doesn't mean positivity all the time. That's not real life, and you don't have to be positive all the time to make this work. It just means learning how to support yourself through this uncertainty. Because fertility isn't just about becoming a mom. It's also about who you're becoming in the process, because that's going to impact the mother that you are. And I truly believe that women deserve to be supported emotionally, not just medically. So if you take anything away from this video, let it be this: your body is not your enemy. And just because things haven't happened yet doesn't mean that things aren't working. Sometimes your body needs that deeper support. Sometimes your mind needs a little clarity. Sometimes your nervous system needs restoration. And sometimes your approach just needs a little fine-tuning. But please don't confuse delay with defeat. You're not failing because this is taking time. And you really don't have to carry this journey all alone. It's really important to have support, to have a team that can be with you through this journey. So if this video spoke to you, I want you to comment the word hope below, because I want women in this community to remember that possibility still exists. And if you want help understanding what actually gets missed in your fertility journey, I created a free gift for you called Understanding Your Body. It walks you through some of the foundational things I look at when helping women support fertility naturally. I'll put it in the link below. And if you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend watching the next one right here. Your period isn't just regular, it's a fertility report card, because it goes deeper into the signs your body may already be giving you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Denise Cervez, your fertility godmother. Remember, you don't have to keep putting your life on hold while trying to conceive. You can support your fertility and still live a life that lights you up. I'll see you in the next video.